Back on HQ, and tonight features the men's gold medal game in basketball. The United States against France. The U.S. has won 29 of 30 games in the Olympics. The only loss to France here in Tokyo on July 25th. That 83-76 win, including a 16-2 run to close out the game, with the Americans missing their final 9 shots. Keep in mind, the U.S. has won the gold medal in 3 straight and 6 of 7 in the Olympics. 15-1 all-time in gold medal games. 2-0 in gold medal games against France, most recently 2000. But Greg Popovich, who, by the way, coached Tony Parker so many years in San Antonio, not so much against France. They lost in 2019 in the quarterfinals with Pop as coach in the FIBA Basketball World Cup, and as mentioned, in that first matchup against the French in their first game in Tokyo. Let's bring back Kenny White and Larry Hartstein in for some intelligent insight. And gentlemen, the Americans had a similar script in games against Spain and Australia. A feeling out process in the first half saw them get down double digits in both. A late run at the end of the half, and then they ran them off the floor in the third quarter. France, a team that has balance and NBA caliber pedigree. The Americans giving 12.5. Larry, start with you. Knowing that line, what's your call on picking a side?
Yeah, the gut reaction is take the points. I mean, this team, you showed it, has the U.S.'s number. They won by 7. They're bigger inside with Gobert. And that's the gut initial reaction. But I think when you look a little bit closer and you look at Holiday, Middleton, and Booker all showing up right before they played France, thrown into the rotation. They shoot 6 of 21. Now in the last game, these guys have gotten their legs under him. The chemistry is clicking. This team is averaging 26 assists. Those 3 guys I mentioned, the ones that came late from the NBA Finals, 17 of 30 in the semifinal game. And I just think, this is a great revenge spot. The motivation is obviously clear. This team is clicking. After shooting 10 of 32 from deep in the opening game, they're over 40% for the tournament, including that opening game. So they're shooting it well. They're going to have to shoot it well tonight, but I'll take them to cover.
Yeah, this should be a great matchup tonight. The revenge factor for the USA. Very rarely do they ever have that type of factor, which gives them that much more focus. But this is a really good France team. Rudy Gobert in the middle is an all NBA defensive type player. So they have the rim protector. Banham and Fournier, both outstanding offensive and defensive players, and Nando De Colo, a guy that nobody really knows about, one of their best scorers and all-around players. So they're well-stocked, France is. They can give this USA team a battle. I think the number is just about right. I think this game is going to land up USA by anywhere between 10 and 14, 15 points tonight. So I'm going to pass on the side here.
You think the number's just about right there. Let's take a look at the total, though. It's 175.5. The US beat Australia 97-78 on Wednesday for a total of 175 points. So we know exactly where Vegas came up with this number. Kenny, are you going over or under tonight's total?
This is like Game 7. It's a Game 7 with revenge by the U.S., a team that's beaten them already in a game that was only 159 points scored. I'm going under the total here. France's defense is very, very solid. When you got a rim protector like Rudy Gobert, that really helps. USA's defense will step up tonight. You know they're going to be ultra focused. Under the total for me. Both teams are 3-2 to the under in their 5 games, and France's average total they've played to is 169. They've gone under by an average of 7 points in those games. So 175.5, just a little bit too high for my liking. I like under the total.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kenny. The money has come in. It's gone down from 176. I'm going to lean under as well with everything on the line, and I expect the U.S. to have a much better game plan against Fournier. And like you said, Gobert patrolling the middle is going to make it tough. I think the game will slow down a little bit in the fourth quarter. I'm going to lean under as well.
All right, let's focus on some individuals. And it's interesting because Kevin Durant was clearly the Americans' best offensive threat for the first 3 quarters against the Aussies, having put up 23 points. But the game got out of hand, didn't play most of the fourth quarter, finished with 23. So you certainly have to take that variable into consideration for Durant's total, which is 24.5. The odds are minus 115 either way. So does he go over or under, Kenny?
I'm going under because he's such an unselfish player, and he really didn't have to turn things on until they fell behind by 15 points. And then Kevin Durant said, I'm going to take over, boys. I'll get us back in the game, and that's what he did. He may not have to do that in this game. And as I said, it seems like everybody on the USA team is trying to be very unselfish, and they're passing the basketball. It's another reason I do like the game under, because the pace has been slower because they pass so much, and they really don't take shots they should be taking because they're trying to be so unselfish. And I think Durant is the main part of that. So I see him staying well under this.
Yeah, I'm also going to lean under. He's averaging 19 in the Olympics, played 30 minutes last game. And, the games are shorter. That's why 24.5 and not 28.5. But, yeah, I think he's going to play great. I think he's going to shoot a lot better. He got in foul trouble in the first game, only played 21 minutes against France. I think he'll play better, play around 30 minutes. But I see him ending around 22 or 23. There's so many weapons. They're playing so unselfish. Like I mentioned, 26 assists per game is what the U.S. is averaging. Look for that to continue tonight.
Well, that's where the value is for Kevin Durant, but we know this U.S. squad is loaded with stars. When you look at the board, Larry, what's your top U.S. player prop wager for this one?
I'm going to look at Devin Booker and his scoring total only at 12.5. He's coming off a 20-point game where he shot 3 of 5 from deep. I think he likes the shorter 3-point line, 7 of 10 overall. Played the third most minutes between Durant and Holiday at 30 and 29. Booker is up to 28 minutes per game. Took him a little while. Some people didn't think he was going to even come after losing the finals. Didn't start off well. They're praising him like crazy for his rebounds, his assists, his steals, and I think they're going to feed him tonight.
Yeah, Larry, love it. All the players out there that we could have picked any type of prop. We both picked the same one. I feel the same way about Devin Booker. I thought his number should have been 15.5 or 16 in that range in this game. He's just playing great basketball. He is a great player. He might be top 5 NBA right now with his skill set. I really looked at Zach LaVine. He was another guy I was going to take. Really love his athleticism and what he can do for the USA. So he's an up-and-comer. But it's Devin Booker. This young man can really play the game. He plays it the right way. He's unselfish, but he gets open. And he can get his shot at any time, anywhere on the court. And he was really on fire in the last one. So, yeah, over 12.5 with Devin Booker.
Let's focus on this French team. Evan Fournier, his total is 21.5, which he went over against Slovenia. He led France with 28 in the win over the Americans on July 25th. The odds the same either way, under or over that 21.5 total. Larry, start with you. Which way are you focused?
Yeah, I think Pop will have a better plan for Fournier. Shot 11 of 22 in that first game. He's only averaging 19.2 points, even though you mentioned he just went over and he had 28 against the U.S. It's not like he's been doing this every single game of the tournament. So I think he'll be around 20, but I'm going to lean under again.
Yeah, I'm leaning under as well. He had a 3-point game where they didn't need him against Iran, so he played very few minutes that game. And you throw that one out, his average is actually over this number, but again, Larry's right. There will be adjustments made tonight. Listening to the announcers in the last game, they bragged about how Pop was talking about the young guards and how solid their defense has been. And I agree. Their defense has been tremendous. I think they continue to play that good D. Ultra focused with the revenge. They know they cannot let Evan Fournier get going tonight. He's the one guy that could hurt him. So I know they'll pay special attention under the 21.5.
All right, so a lot to choose from there. But if you have just one ticket to place on the gold medal game tonight, any side, any total, any prop, Kenny, which direction are you going?
UNDER, under. This is such a big game. Both teams, they want this game so badly. And the first one mentioned, what did it come? 159. We're looking under 175.5. And that pace in that game, the France does not want to run. Their average pace has been 76 possessions a game, and a lot of those have been blowouts. I can't see this game getting that high. As I mentioned, USA's pace is usually in the 90s, and they play up-tempo, fast basketball. This team is playing, as Larry mentioned, 26 assists a game. They are passing, and they're overpassing, and that's taking time off the clock. So this one's going to be a little bit closer, I think, throughout. Under the total's my best play of the night.
I found something on Caesar Sportsbook that I really like, plus 150. All that we have to do is get the U.S. to win the game and Devin Booker to score at least 15 points. I mean, his total is 12.5, so it's just a couple more points than that. Like we mentioned, coming off a 7 of 10 game, all the teammates raving about him, Durant, Lillard, everyone is just talking about what this guy is doing in terms of his rebounds, his assists, his steals. He's not turning the ball over, going to play about 30 minutes. Like Kenny said, can get his shot on anyone, and I think he likes the 3-point line. I'll play this double for plus 150.
Kenny White and Larry Hartstein with their winning picks for Friday night's gold medal game in Tokyo. Let's take another look at those picks. Larry is riding with the US to cover the 12.5 points. Kenny's passing on the side, but both of our experts are going under 175.5, under 24.5 points for Kevin Durant. Their top US player prop is Devin Booker to score over 12.5 points, both like that. And their best wager for the game, Kenny is going with the under, and Larry likes Devin Booker to score at least 15 points and the US to win. That comes in at plus 150.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.